So in this question, we're told that 50 people were asked if they speak French or German or Spanish. And we're told that of these people, 31 speak French, 2 speak French, German and Spanish, 4 speak French and Spanish but not German, 7 speak German and Spanish, and 8 don't speak any of the languages. We're also told that all 10 people who speak German, so we know that 10 people in total do speak German, that all 10 of them speak at least one other language. So this also tells us that nobody speaks only German. Everyone that does speak German speaks at least another language, so they might speak French as well, or Spanish as well, or both as well. We're told that 2 of the 50 people are chosen at random, and we're asked to work out the probability that they both only speak Spanish. So we're given a lot of information here to read through and work through, and if we have a look at what we're actually working with, we've basically got 3 main categories. So we've got the French, German and Spanish speakers, and we've got the number of people that are going to fit into each category and into kind of the overlap between categories. So what I'm instantly thinking here is that we need to be working with a Venn diagram. So I've just sketched out a Venn diagram over here, and it's a 3-way Venn diagram where all of the circles are going to overlap. So we have this area in the middle where all 3 overlap, and I know that because this line here says that 2 speak French, German and Spanish, so they all do need to overlap at some point. So once I've got the diagram, the Venn diagram, I can start kind of labelling it up and start putting any obvious values in. So if I just take this circle as being F for French, and then G for German for this one, and then the bottom one can be S for Spanish. Now I can just kind of work my way logically through the information in the question and just fill in as many values as I can. So firstly, 31 speak French. Now this point is not actually going to be very useful at the start because we know that the total of the numbers in this circle is going to be 31. However, we don't know what's in each of these individual areas, so we can't actually put any numbers in here yet, so I'd have to come back to this one. However, this next point, 2 speak French, German and Spanish. So looking for the area where all 3 overlap, that's going to be the darkest area here, which is the centre, where all 3 overlap, so French, German and Spanish speakers in the centre. And I can just put in the value here of 2 because we know that 2 people speak all 3 languages. I'm just going to tick that piece off as well, just so I know that I've used it in the Venn diagram. Moving on, we then are told that 4 speak French and Spanish, but not German. So looking over here, the overlap between French and Spanish is this section here. However, the overlap between French, Spanish and not German is just this point that we have here. So this section here is going to be the 4 that speak French and Spanish, but not German. So I can fill that in as 4 and tick that piece off. We're then told that 7 speak German and Spanish, so the overlap between German and Spanish is this section here. However, we need to be a little bit more careful this time because the people that speak French as well aren't included in this statement, so they are actually the 7 that speak German and Spanish, we're including those that speak French as well in there. So this whole section is going to sum to 7. However, we've already got 2 in this part, so this part here is just going to be 7, subtract that 2, which gives us 5 for this section here. And then the next point, we're told that 8 don't speak any of the languages, so we can put an 8 outside all 3 of the circles. It is important that we do write that down because when we're looking at the ends to fill in the gaps, we need to make sure that all of the numbers should sum to 50, the total number of people that were asked. We're then finally told that all 10 people who speak German speak at least one other language. So we know that 10 people speak German, and we know that nobody speaks only German. So this part of the Venn diagram here would be the people that speak only German, and I know that that is 0. I also know that the total number of people that speak German, so the total of the values in this circle, needs to be 10. So I can work out this missing value by taking the 10 and subtracting the other two numbers. So subtract 2, subtract 5, and that gives us an answer of 3 for this section here. So now 10 people in total speak German, and none of them speak only German. So I can tick that off. I've now got a much fuller Venn diagram, so I'm just going to go back to this top line here, making sure we've been through all of the information. 31 people speak French. Now looking at the French circle, to work out this value, which is the only unknown part, we take 31 for the total and subtract 3, subtract 2 and subtract 4 to give us an answer of 22 for the number of people that speak only French. So this section here, 22 people speak only French. So I can tick that off as well. And now we've got a lot more of a complete Venn diagram. However, we are just missing this one section here. However, this is what we need to work out. So we're working out the probability that they both only speak Spanish. So that is the probability that they're in this section. They only speak Spanish. And I can work this value out by taking the total number of people, which is 50, which all of the numbers in the Venn diagram should sum to, and subtracting every other value in the Venn diagram. So subtracting the 22, 3, 2, 4, 5 and 8, and that's going to come out with an answer of 6. So here we have that 6 people only speak Spanish. So now all of the numbers in the Venn diagram should sum to 50, so 50 people were asked if they speak French, German or Spanish. So all of these values will sum to 50, and we've got this value here for 6 for the number of people that only speak Spanish. So we can now use this to work out the probability that the 2 people chosen at random both only speak Spanish. So the probability that the first person only speaks Spanish is 6, because there are 6 people that only speak Spanish out of the total of 50 people that are asked. And the probability that the second person chosen at random only speaks Spanish, well, we've already taken that first person out. We can't pick that same person again. So there are actually now only 5 people left that speak Spanish, because we're not including that original one. And that's going to be 5 out of a possible 49, because again, we've subtracted 1 from the 50 original people, because we can't pick that same person again. We need 2 separate people. And to work out the probability that they both only speak Spanish, we're just going to multiply the probabilities of them speaking only Spanish individually together to get the probability that they both of them chosen, only speak Spanish. And when we multiply these two probabilities, we get an answer of 6 over 490, which is the correct final answer here. So as for how the marks are awarded, the first mark is for a process to kind of start processing the information. So for example, drawing a Venn diagram and putting at least one unknown value into it. So that's where the first mark is. The second mark's for a process to find at least 3 unknowns from the information that we're given. So working out the unknown values and putting them into the Venn diagram gets us a second mark. The third mark's for a complete process to find the number of people who speak only Spanish, so for finding the 6 here. The fourth mark is for them multiplying these two probabilities together. Or alternatively, if the value that you calculated wasn't 6 and you'd gone wrong somewhere along the way, just substituting in the values that are right for your numbers would also get you the method mark here. And then the final mark for this question is for the correct final answer of 6 over 490.